Hello everybody, this is Albert with Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to talk about the 3 healthiest teas that you should be drinking. Now before we begin, I'll put some banners over here of other episodes that are germane, but check out our back catalog of episodes. We probably have about 80 episodes now. And I'll put a banner up here for part 1 of this series where I talk about watch out for spurious health claims about the benefits of tea. So just to review that episode, there are benefits, there's compounds in the Camellia sinensis plant that are healthy for us. You can also find these compounds in other foods and other drinks. And you just need to be careful of products out there that will say it's weight loss tea, immune system fighting tea, Viagra tea, diabetes tea. You just gotta be very careful on these things. And it's better and more judicious of these companies to say, blah, blah, tea may help these things. To say you will lose weight by taking this, even though you're eating a bunch of Cheetos. So let's talk about the 3 teas that are the healthiest ones to drink. And I'll put these in order from not as healthy to most healthy, but even number 3 is pretty healthy. And they're gonna be healthy for different reasons. So the main reason why the Camellia sinensis plant is healthy is because it has a lot of what we call antioxidants. You probably have heard that term before. These are things that fight against free radical damage, that fight against cancer and other things. Because our body's constantly, the immune system is constantly fighting bad things, whether it be pathogenic stuff like bacteria and bad funguses and stuff like that, but also just the breakdown of our body due to lifestyle choices. And so neutralizing free radical damage is a good thing. And so we want to eat and drink things that have a lot of these things. So the Camellia sinensis plant has a lot of these things. So we know that the Camellia sinensis plant has 6 categories of tea. I'll put a picture over here. But not all of them are created equal. And you'll see that there's a correlation between how much they're oxidized and the health benefits of them. And then there's a wild card. So let's just get to the wild card. Number 3, the third most healthy tea to drink from the Camellia sinensis plant would be pu'er. Now, pu'er, I'm drinking here because I drink it every morning because I don't drink coffee, but I love the taste of pu'er. But in particular, ginger pu'er. I love ginger pu'er. Pu'er is good because it's a fermented drink. What does that mean? So in its preparation, what happens is that it becomes a drink, a tea, that has microorganisms on it. Now, some people are like, oh, that's disgusting. Well, remember, 90% of the cells in us and on us are not human. We have bacteria and fungus, beneficial ones, on our skin, on our gut, in our orifices. And these things help neutralize the pathogenic bacteria and funguses that are in us, along with the immune system. So pu'er is a probiotic drink, meaning it has healthy, mostly fungus, like Aspergillus, mostly fungus in it. So why is this important? Well, a diet that's very high in probiotics, which are gonna be Greek yogurt, kefir, or sauerkraut, miso, these actually have live organic organisms in it. A diet that's high in probiotics, but also high in prebiotics, these are the foods, a lot of fruits and vegetables that help grow our microbiome. A diet that's high in this, the studies show there's a very important link between the gut and the brain axis. So we know serotonin, for example, the mood neurotransmitters made in the gut. So if you have a healthy microbiome in the gut, you're going to be making more serotonin. We also know that there's leaky gut syndrome. We know that there's a lot of dysbiosis of the gut that can happen if you don't have a good microbiome. And we also know that antibiotics, albeit revolutionary, we've had them 100 years. The problem with antibiotics, especially if you take them for something simple like an ear infection, sinus infection, they destroy your microbiome and it takes 2 years for it to rebuild. So I would tell you, pu'er is an acquired taste, but pu'er is a fermented probiotic drink. And that's one of the reasons I would make it number 3. Now, you might not like the taste. If you don't like the taste, it's fine. Then eat a lot of probiotic foods like onions, leeks, asparagus, and eat probiotic foods like Greek yogurt. All right, number 2. Number 2 is going to be white tea. So why is white tea? And let me give you the spoiler what number 1 is, because I think most of you guys are going to know what number 1 is. Number 1 is green tea. So what do green and white tea have in common? And I'll put banners up here on what exactly is green tea, what exactly is white tea, because those are the first 5 episodes we did. What they have in common is that they're very low oxidized or no oxidized at all. If you look at green teas, whether they be Japanese or green or Chinese, they are no oxidized. In other words, they're plucked, and they're typically plucked from the buds of the Camellia sinensis plant. And the buds have the most benefits in it. So they're going to have the most catechins, ECGCs, antioxidants, polyphenols, all these things that are really good for us. So they're going to be more in the buds. So they pluck the buds and then they kill green it. In other words, they kind of like freeze it. So it's going to be perpetually 0% oxidized or broken down, as opposed to something like black tea, which is on the other side of the spectrum, which is fully broken down. Okay, fully broken down. So white tea is about 5% oxidized. Green teas are 0% oxidized. That's what they have in common. Now, so number 2 would be white tea. White tea is very healthy for you, and also because it's very little oxidized and it's plucked from the buds. Number 1 is going to be green tea. Now, I would tell you, in the green tea world, whether it be Chinese tea like gunpowder, jasmine, or dragonwell, we saw all 3 of those, or in the Japanese side, whether it be genmaicha or sencha, I would tell you the 2 best green teas to drink are going to be matcha and are going to be gyokuro. Why? Because both of these come from the buds. In both of these, they shield the plant for a couple of weeks before they pluck them to increase the chlorophyll and increase the caffeine, incidentally, but also increase the health benefits of these things by shielding them, by covering the shade. Then they pluck them. And so you are getting super, super high amounts of antioxidants in these green teas. So gyokuro is like the par excellence of Japanese green teas. Not to say that like a lot of Japanese people maybe drink gyokuro because it is high end. I think that the typical Japanese person is gonna be drinking more of the sencha or the hojicha or the genmaicha. But when we look at the profile of green tea, the top 2 are gonna be those 2 because matcha is also plucked from buds, the fresh buds that have the highest amount of antioxidants that are also shielded from the sun. And then we know with matcha, instead of it being steeped in water, matcha is grounded down. So the beauty of matcha is that you're drinking the entire leaf, the entire bud. And that's why matcha is par excellence. Now, we kind of adulterate matcha by putting milk and sugar in it with a matcha latte. But if you can drink just a ceremonial matcha, like matcha with water, that's great. The studies also show that you need to be drinking at least 3 cups of these things a day. So be drinking at least 3 cups of the green and of the white and of the pu'er. But the pu'er is different. The pu'er is not going to have the same level nearly of the same of the antioxidants, but the benefit of the pu'er is that you're working on your gut health. What about the other teas? So I want to talk about black tea really fast. Black tea is fully oxidized. It's not that there aren't health benefits in black tea. I want to be clear. So if you like your Earl Grey, you like your chai, you like your Darjeeling, it's not that there's not health benefits, but you're going to find the health benefits more in the teas that are no oxidized or little oxidized. So in closing, my opinion, the 3 best teas, pu'er, because it's fermented, probiotic, good for your gut, and then I'll go white tea number 2, and then green tea, in particular matcha and gyokuro as the number 1s. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care and God bless.